Welcome to the Topology configuration video in our FlexDeploy learning series. The topology defines the logical and physical architecture of your build and deployment landscape. The logical environment and instance constructs are bound to physical servers or endpoints for execution. Let's start by looking at the environments we have defined within FlexDeploy. We have a build environment and three target deployment environments: development, quality assurance, and production. Let's edit the development environment to see its definition. Note that this environment indicates no for the build environment field, as this is a target deployment environment. For the build environment, this field will be set to yes. Now we will take a look at the instances page. An instance is a logical concept representing a technology running across its environment lifecycle. Note that among others, we have a build and a deploy instance for ADF HR. Let's select and edit the ADF HR instance to take a closer look. Since we will deploy ADF applications to this instance, deployment target must be set to yes. This field will be set to no for build instances. Next, we can see the environments associated to this instance. Again, since this is a deployment instance, we will map all of our deployment environments to it. The selected workflows and plugin operations are used to help define what properties must be configured to implement the build and deployment processes across the projects and the topology we have defined. Up next is the Endpoints page, which shows the physical servers used in this installation. We have three endpoints defined to map to the servers which host WebLogic, SOA Suite, and Tomcat servers used in this particular environment. We can take a look at the endpoint designated for deployments by selecting it and clicking Edit. Endpoints provide an SSH connection, which requires a username along with a password or SSH key. It is also required that each endpoint have a configured working directory and a JDK. It's easy to test the endpoint configuration by simply clicking the Test Connection button. Now that we know the endpoint is set up correctly and we have our environments and instances paired, we will take a look at the environment instance page. This screen is the control panel for all topology and ties everything together. Notice that the instances are listed along the left and environments across the top. This matrix allows for assignment of endpoints and property values to the associations. By clicking on the endpoints number, we can dig into the endpoints assigned to an environment and instance. Here we see the associated endpoint, meaning that when a build or deployment occurs on this environment and instance, it will execute on the given physical server. If we go back to the matrix, we can click on the Properties link to inspect or edit the values. These properties are mapped from the plugins and workflows associated to the instance. When you request a build or deployment on an instance in a particular environment, FlexDeploy executes the workflow steps on an associated endpoint and uses the associated properties to connect to the underlying technology. FlexDeploy provides an abstract definition for the topology, independent of the workflows and projects that are executed. Check out our complete set of videos in this FlexDeploy learning series.